Welcome to the Amateur Family Archivist. This is part 2 of a 3-part series explaining a system for cataloging and preserving a large collection of family documents and images. In part 1, I laid out a method for placing a family library of documents and images in a logical order so that a researcher might search for and retrieve a record with some basic information. In this video, I'll demonstrate a method for processing original documents into your physical and digital libraries. Be certain you understand the significance of the original documents that you're handling. Some documents, particularly documents having legal significance, such as certain real estate documents, notary journals, or evidence that might be used in court, should not be disassembled for legal reasons. If you're not sure about the legal significance of a document, you should consult an attorney. You'll have no problem processing most family documents. Let's discuss the materials and tools that I use. Most of these materials are useful to process photographs and negatives, as you will see in part 3. I use non-latex gloves to keep the oils from my hands off the documents. A soft cloth and brush will gently dust the paper if necessary. A couple of short bursts from a gas duster will help too. Occasionally I encounter stapled documents. Some have been in that condition for over 60 years. Staples bleed rust onto paper and cause the paper to tear with use. On the other hand, some stapled documents such as pamphlets and school notepads would lose value in my opinion if I removed the staples. I preserve those kinds of documents intact. If I decide to remove the staple, I gently prise the staple open with the staple remover. You can also use needle nose pliers. I use clippers to snip the metal staple if I can do it without tearing the paper. I place each document in an acid-free protective sleeve, which I can place into an acid-free binder. I use special protective sleeves for smaller documents. As you can see from these examples. For large documents, I use art portfolio albums that are acid-free. I obtained the letter-sized protective sleeves, gloves, and gas duster in this presentation from Costco. The Container Store sells specialty sleeves and art portfolio albums at a good price. I use an ultra fine point Sharpie pen to write the document number on the protective sleeve, as you can see here. I use DVDs to back up my digital library. The DVDs and pens can be obtained at an office supply store. The Amateur Family Archivist can construct a more sophisticated archival system with drop front boxes and high-density polyethylene sleeves. These are very good, but for voluminous documents, the costs will mount pretty quickly. At some point, I might migrate some of my more important documents into such a system. For now, I'm using inexpensive materials that I can obtain locally. Now, let's process a document. I'm going to process this document. It's a letter. Two sides. A brochure. And 2 photographs. I'm going to put these in order. I start with the envelope. The envelope will sometimes be torn like this. Straighten out all edges, including the little corners. Try to make them as straight as you can and smooth them out. Make sure that the document or the piece of paper gets into the sleeve as flat as possible with all corners turned up. This is the envelope of the document, which is dated March 25, 2014. I know the author and his initials are CG. Now I've given it its number, CG 2014 03.25.ENV for the envelope. I've also numbered page 1. This is page 1. Even though it has 2 sides, I give it 1 page because it's 1 piece of paper. And the brochure is something that was discussed in the letter, and the letter would not be complete if I didn't include the brochure with all of the documents that I have collected. So I use a special protective sleeve for large documents like these so I can keep it with the rest of the pages of the letter. Make sure the corners are straightened. And now the document has its number, and it's page 2. The photographs are discussed in the letter, and so they're really, in effect, pages 3 and 4 of the letter. But they're also images, so to connect the images to the document, I'm going to do a cross-reference. First, I'm going to place the photographs in the protective sleeves. And on the sleeve, I will give the document its document number, and I'm going to give the image its image number. In this case, GIF.000.004. The image will go into the photographic digital image file. The document with the number will go into the PDF file in the digital image, as well as for page 4. So now I have the envelope, page 1, page 2, 3 and 4, organized for the physical file. Each page has its number. In the end, the binders will start to look like this. All kept in chronological order in my system. I hope this shows how to give your precious family documents the respect they deserve. If you can't do everything, just do what you can. Remember, you're creating a time capsule that someday will be open for all to marvel. Thank you for your service, and have fun along the way.